Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to Nat Fashion Hub, the best fashion channel in the world. So today, quickly, without wasting time, I would like us to learn how to fix waist on a trouser, a plain trouser, without using a waistband. We use the same fabric for the trouser to fix the waist without using an inner waistband. I'm going to show us that, so how to do it neatly. So if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and turn your notification bell on, so that whenever I drop amazing content like this, you'll be notified. So without wasting much time, let us hit into the video and learn how to fix our waistband without the waist on a plain trouser without using a waistband. So let's go. Yeah, so for us to fix waist on our trouser, I've already cut the waist, and I used paper gum to gum it so that to give me the thickness I want. Paper gum is okay for me. Yes, so as you can see, the wideness of the waist is 4 inches, and after gumming it, the ideal length for this waist upside of this trouser is 29. So I've cut this waistband to be 37 inches long. That will be enough for me for all the allowances. I folded it by ½ inch already, and then I did a second folding by 1.5 inch. Yeah, 1.5 inch. Yes, so that will be okay for me. Then the next thing is my belt holders. I've already stitched them with a length of 3 inches, each of them a length of 3 inches. There are 6 belt holders in all. Sorry. So I did all of this so that I will not waste our time. I don't want the video to be too long, so that I will not waste our time. The most important thing is the trick on how to fix this waist to be very straight without squeezing, and still give a very good result that you are looking for. So the next one, I'm going to mark the positioning of the belt holders. Now from the beginning of the trouser is going to be 3 inches. I've marked my 3 inches. Then on the side line of the trouser, I'm going to mark 1 inch backwards. That is where the second belt holder will be. 1 inch backwards. As you can see, I've marked it 1 inch backward. Then the back, the dart at the back, yeah, I've marked 1.5 inch, but I'll use 2 inches. I will mark 1.5, but I'll just use 2 inches, right? But 1.5, you can use that 1.5. Okay, I'll do the same thing for the second side of the trouser. The same thing. I don't want us to waste time, that's why I'm forwarding. I'll do the same thing for the second side of the trouser. It's the same. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do now is to start fixing our waist. All right, so I am going to place this waist giving an allowance of 1 inch. All right, give an allowance of 1 inch. That 1 inch allowance I'm leaving is so as to turn in the beginning of the waist. When I am done, is to turn it in. All right, so as you can see, I'm going to now put the belt holders at their rightful positions. Yeah, so the first one, I mark 3 inches from the beginning of the waist. That is the zip. I'm marking 3 inches from the zip. All right, so I am going to, you see the allowance, the stitch allowance on the side line, I'm going to open it to be flat. Don't allow your allowance to lie one side, so that the allowance will be evenly distributed. Okay, so I'm going to place the belt holders at the respective points where I have marked, and then I will stitch. All right, so if this content is making sense, if this video is making sense, I would appreciate if you can hit the subscribe button if you are yet to subscribe, or you can give me a thumb up if you have subscribed already. I would really appreciate that. All right, the likes, the comments, the shares will actually bring more views for me. Yeah, so we are done with the first side of the trouser. and we will cut this waist band at this point and use it for the second side as well. So I'm still going to do the same thing we did on this first part. All the places we have already marked for our belt holders, we are going to fix our belt holders at those respective marked points. All right, yeah, I don't want us to waste much time, so I am fast forwarding, okay, since it's the same thing I am doing. Yeah, so that you will not have to spend too much time watching the video. Yes, I am also going to trusting God to have time where I will do a complete trouser from beginning to the end for us to have a look at it. Work will permit me most definitely for me to do that. Yeah, so you see, we are done with the second side as well, and we'll reduce this excess allowance we have here at the end so that we'll just leave half-inch allowance for the turning. All right, so what we're leaving here is just half-inch allowance to enable us turn in, and that will be all. You can see how clean it's looking. Yeah, so there's the front part of the trouser. You can see how neatly it's looking. So the next thing we are going to do now is to 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 stitch our darts like half an inch below each of the belt holders. Each of the belt holders, we are going to stitch it half an inch below. This is the standard. This has to give it a good balancing and make it wide enough for belt to pass through. Yeah, so we are going to do this on all the 6 belt holders. We are going to do this on all the 6 belt holders. We'll do this. Yes. So if my videos are helping us, please, I appreciate if we can you can see I've stitched them, all of them. I appreciate if you can share these videos and drop a comment in the comment section. I'll appreciate. Now it's for us to measure the length of the waist. You can see when I'm giving my tape. I'm not giving my tape from the beginning of the trouser. I'm giving my tape from where the zip starts. That is the head of the zip that I'm giving my tape to measure the waist. And the waist is 29. That is 14 and a half. So I'm going to make a mark at what? 14 and a half. You can see where my tape is starting. It's not from the beginning of the trouser. It's where the zip starts. So I'll mark my waist at 14 and a half. So I'm going to close up the waist behind before I will come back to the I'll close the trouser from behind up to the waistline before I'll come back to close the waist proper. So now what I'm doing is just closing the trouser from behind. No, I left it behind so that I can be able to attach my waist. So now I am going to close the back I had left open to aid me to attach my waistband. All right, so and when closing it, you need to be sure that the waistline is coming from both sides meets together at the same point. So for that reason, I'm going to use a pin. I'm going to pin it there so that it won't shake, so that after I am done sewing the waistline at the back, the waist will be joining at the same point. Both the two different sides will be joining together at the same point, not that one is up. I don't think I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. When you join waist, at times you discover at the back that one waistline, when one of the waistlines is down, one is up. So I'm ensuring that they are all aligned. Yes, that is correct word, aligned. Yeah, so I'll open it so that you see how neatly it's aligned, and then you understand better what I'm saying. Both the vertical and the horizontal lines are well aligned. You can see that. Okay, let me turn the inside so you see better. You can see that both the vertical and the horizontal lines, you can see that meeting at the right place. So the next thing is for us to now close our waist finally. So I'll first of all open the allowance, the seam allowance. I'll open it, do the first folding, which is half inch, then fold the second folding, which is 1.5 inches. All right, you see. So you can see I've done the two turnings. You can see that. So I'm going to make a stitch on it so as to hold the waist. You can see how neat it's looking. I'm going to do a stitch on it so that it will hold the waist in place for me to start closing it up properly. Because if I don't do this, it's possible that the folding will shake, and when I'm stitching to close it finally, it might disalign and you see the waist squeezing. If you don't do these things, by the time you are fixing your waist, it's got that the waistband is squeezing, or it's not aligning, it's not looking flat, it's like twisting. So you need to make sure you tack it well so that while you are closing it, it won't twist, but it will be flat. I don't believe in forcing iron on a fabric to twist it, to stretch it. You sew professionally, you stitch professionally, so that even as you are stitching, what you're stitching is aligned even before you use iron on it. All right, pressing iron on it. So I'm going to use a pin to pin the waist at this point here, so that I'm sure that when I'm stitching it to close it finally, it's not in any way twisted. Right, so I'm going to fold that half-inch allowance I left there from the beginning. I'll fold it inwards. You can see how I'm doing it neatly and carefully. I'll fold it inwards. All right, see, so I'll ensure that no part of it is pushing out at the beginning point here. No part of it, no, it's not pushing out. The folded allowance inside, half-inch folded allowance inside, is not pushing out, but it's well aligned. Then I'll start sewing somewhere at that point to the front, then I'll turn. Okay, all this is just so as to have a neat work. Mind you, when you work and your work is not neat, you can't sell. Good work sells, dirty work doesn't sell. Okay, so you must ensure that your work is very clean and it's neat. So you see what I'm doing. So I'm going to ensure that I fold the allowance inwards properly. Yeah, you can see, before stitching it. You must make sure it's well aligned before stitching it. So of course I'm going to run this stitch like this from the beginning here onto the other end. You can see how neatly folded it is inside. See, it's automatically aligning itself. The way I pressed it as I'm sewing is just aligning. You can see this is how it was, so it's just aligning by itself. Everything is aligning properly because I had already ironed the waistband very well before coming to fix it. All right, so the next thing is for us to take this to stitch round. Okay, and that'll be all for the waist. Actually, I am stitching on top of it. These things are just the way you stitch is your choice as a designer. All right, you can choose a top stitch or an under stitch. And what's a top stitch? A top stitch is this stitch that I'm doing here because you can see it, but an under stitch is a stitch that you cannot see, so it's usually at the same line, so you will not see. But this is a top stitch I'm doing here, so you see it and it's very neat. Okay, and the most important thing is to ensure that this waist is not twisting. You can see how it's going now. When I'm done, you still see it very well. It's not twisted. Before pressing it, I will show you so that you won't think it's iron that I went and used to stretch it. As I'm stitching it, I will ensure that it's not twisted. You can see how neatly folded it is. So I'll just run through it sharply so that we don't waste too much time. All right, yeah. So like I said before, if you are enjoying this video, if it is making sense, please hit the like button. If you are yet to subscribe, please hit the subscribe button, turn your notification bell on, so that whenever I post content like this, you will be the first person to be notified and you will quickly come and watch. Yeah, so please subscribe and subscribe. All right, so at this point we'll still fold this excess half-inch allowance here inwards. The same way we folded the one from the beginning, we'll still fold this one like that. You can see we'll still fold it like that neatly, the same way we did for the beginning point. We'll fold it inside. All right, so it's looking, just fold yours inside. If you are doing it right away with me, do that. All right, so the next thing is to stitch it, and then we'll go and start from the beginning. This time around we'll be stitching the second line with the belt holders together, and that will be the end of our waistband, right? So we'll be stitching it together with the belt holders. Sorry about that. The belt holder. So you can see I folded my belt holder already, folding the top of it by half an inch. You can see clearly now, I think so. So yeah, so we will now stitch from the beginning to the end. You double stitch when you get to the belt holder so that you be sure that they are firmly stitched, not that you wear for one day and then it's loose. All right, so you double stitch when you get to the belt holders. All right, so I think this method is quite simple. So even without using attaching a waistband, you can use the same fabric, just the fabric alone, and you're able to get a very clean and standard waist. If you gum it very well and you fold it very well, you should see something interesting. So for want of time, we'll still forward it, we'll run through it sharp so that we are done. All right, I know my followers are very busy people, they don't like wasting too much time on one video. Yeah, but just bear with me, this is a bit lengthy, but I'm sure that you're enjoying it. Yeah, so run through it sharp and then we're done. Remember, I told you this pin I fixed it for me to get balance, right? To get the waist balance so that it won't be twisted while I am sewing it. That's the lowest level of professionalism in stitching. Make sure it is what you're sewing is very straight before you even press with an iron. All right, so as you can see, we are almost there, if not that we are done already. So I'm going to show you how the whole thing is looking like right now. Remove our pin. Yep, remove it. So now we'll see how our waistband is looking without having to attach an external waistband. You can see how neatly it's looking and how stretched it's looking. It's not squeezed anywhere. If I turn the inside, you'll still see that is very neat. It's not squeezed anywhere. And once you now press it an iron, you see something very clean. You can see how neatly it's looking, even inside, well stitched. All right, looking very clean, you see. So it's as simple as this. You can actually use only the same fabric without having to use waistband. And the most important thing is that you can see how it's not twisted. Okay, ensure that your waist, when you're fixing the waist on trouser, is not twisted. That is very important. Don't let it twist. You can see how it's looking neatly. It's looking all right. So I really appreciate you for taking our time to watch this video. Without you, I can't be here. Okay, your views, your comments, your like, your shares, your subscriptions, that's what keeps me going. If not, I'll be out of business for long. All right, so thank you so much for always subscribing to my videos, and I really appreciate, and I thank you for watching, and I believe that this video made sense. And like I said, if it does make sense, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share the video, and that will encourage me to do more. Thank you so much. Welcome to Nat Fashion Hub, the best fashion channel in the world. Thanks for watching.